This is why Hellfire missile bounced off UFO by MH September 10, 2025.
We were warned that attacking the vastly technologically superior Earth foreigners will bring more harm than success. Sooner or later, on October 20th, 2024, the US military had an unexpected surprise while engaging in the grand American tradition of attacking anything unknown, even when not threatened or attacked. The incident was revealed during another useless hearing by the House Oversight Subcommittee on UFOs, etc., as was the fact this isn't the first evidence of the American military foolishly and impotently attacking the UFOs.
That's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO, and it just bounced right off, and it kept going. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see.
On June 20th, 2023, Billy Meier warned that attacking the Earth foreigners was very dangerous.
Azo, when I observe the ridiculous and dangerous efforts that are being made to capture the foreigners, I have to grab my head and ask myself how stupid and dumb one must actually be to believe that contact with the foreigners could be established by firing at them. The whole thing is a hostility without equal, and brings about exactly the opposite of what should be expected. So the whole thing is a completely wrong attitude and approach, which brings more harm than success, as is unfortunately usual with the Earthling. But he will experience that sooner or later.
In light of America's relentless rush to provoke a very dead-end Third World War with Russia and China, we should also keep in mind the 1987 Enoch prophecies regarding the role the technologically vastly superior Earth foreigners will play against the West.
And at this time, the possibility could become reality that extraterrestrial forces intervene against the Western industrialized countries, because these will be responsible for the extreme and enormous disaster of the coming evil times. These extraterrestrial forces will give up their anonymity and their state of secrecy, and will assist those who are being terrorized by the irresponsibly acting Western countries, should this possibility become reality.
From CR 902, January 7th, 2025.
What I can say is the following. They are the foreigners, have been coming to Earth for thousands of years, and therefore have a futuristic technology, at least for the Earthlings, which is far inferior to that of the Pleiaren and that of the ancient emigrants, and those who have lived in the dull universe since time immemorial. The foreigners, whose flying apparatus have been whizzing through the earthly skies as UFOs since time immemorial, have technology far superior to that of the human beings of Earth.
From CR 891, June 23rd, 2024.
So no incidents of any kind, such as abductions, encounters with extraterrestrials, or simply sightings of UFOs, have anything to do with pleasure and beam ships. This, as above all, also has nothing to do with the so-called UFO incidents and the incidents that occur in connection with earthly military and air force attacks. Only vague reports are published about the fact that these actually take place in various countries, whereby much of the truth about UFOs is concealed from the world public by the military, etc., because there is supposedly no public interest in it.
From CR 865, September 30th, 2023.
Besides, the spies will also not be able to detect your presence until then, because even the most highly developed earthly technology is still so primitive that they cannot even locate you, as even the foreigners cannot do, although they are vastly superior to earthly technology. A disadvantage that unfortunately will not be pleasing to the Earthlings in the future. as I know because the foreigners are.
From CR 862, August 29, 2023.
But what is happening here on Earth with the foreigners and their UFOs is already much more than is announced, and really happens in this regard. They are still covering themselves up, but they are obviously slowly on the way to being revealed.
From CR 272, May 16, 1999.
Legendary. And the foreigners? What kind of beam ships or flying apparatus do they have? And what do they want?
Their flying apparatuses bear a certain resemblance to ours, and could therefore easily be confused by the uninitiated and ignorant. What the foreigners want is easy to explain. They appear once every 70 to 80 years on the Earth, taking care of all sorts of things that reach into political as well as military and scientific matters, whereby their aim is to make an official appearance at the appropriate moment and to establish open contact with the Earth humans.
And were there contacts with them at earlier times? That is to say, did these foreigners interfere in the earlier concerns of the Earth humans?
That was to some extent the case, yes.